So I thought we'd look at emotional intelligence, purpose, meaning, and passion today from the Harvard Business Review Press. Now, as I always say when I read from these books, they are, as I just said, about business. But I think there's a lot of lessons to learn from the business world that actually can apply to just life in general. So let's discuss first. Try this exercise at the end of the workday. Jot down approximately how much time you spend in each of the following three mindsets. Job mindset: when someone has a job mindset, they resort to a paycheck mentality, performing their duties in return for compensation and not much else. Career mindset: this mindset occurs when an individual is focused on increasing or advancing their salary, title, power, team size, or sphere of control. Purpose mindset: feeling passionate, innovative, and committed are hallmarks of this mindset, as is having an outward looking focus on serving the broader organization or key stakeholders. Here, your professional purpose feels aligned with your personal purpose. And so, if we take that and kind of break that down a little bit, job mindset is basically living day to day, dealing with what comes to get that money at the end of the month. Career mindset is about, it's still job orientated, but it's it's because you find your job fulfilling, right? It's that middle line. And then purpose mindset is, I have this personal purpose. Does it match what I do? And so I think for me, that actually resonates a lot because I fall into kind of all these in a way personally. So, for example, job mindset, I do feel sometimes I'm just doing this job for money. Career mindset, do I want to succeed? Yeah, of course I do. Would I like to get more money? To a degree, yes. Money isn't everything, but we all want to be able to live comfortably, right? And money is sadly the route to that. Not so much the title or the power, but people take that too. They do, admittedly. And then purpose, feeling like what you're doing is meaningful. And actually, that's probably the most important thing in life in general, is what I'm doing now worthwhile? Like, for example, I asked myself the question making this video, is this worthwhile to someone? And the answer has to be yes, otherwise, I'm not doing it for the right reasons, right? You have to kind of ask yourself that, is this purposeful? Is there a purpose? And I suppose that's my thing that I struggle with sometimes is, am I making a purposeful, impact on my personal level? Am I doing everything I can to make the biggest impact possible? And that's both a good thing to think about and a bad thing, right? Because I think now there's such a pressure on everyone to be larger than life because we feel like everyone is larger than life. You know, I see people on TikTok who think like, oh, this is how I must live because, you know, either a celebrity or someone more wealthy, they live that way, so I should too, right? And Is that true? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, everyone wants to have that sort of life. But is it possible? And the answer is no, not for everyone. That's the cruelty of the world as it currently stands. And so, really, it's more about contentment, about is your purpose, do you feel fulfilled? And so, for some people, sorry, that will mean their career is their purpose and they're fulfilled by that. Some will be in a job to make ends meet and are actually doing things that they don't like to be able to get where they want to go. That's me. That's what I do. And there's many people who never have a purpose but aren't going anywhere either. And I feel very sorry for those people because they have been let down in some way or got scared off pursuing what they should or could do. And, there's the idea that not everyone can have their dream, so to speak, because of the way society is built. And that's scary and sad in its own way. But everyone should have a dream and everyone should try to move towards it. Because sometimes, even if that dream doesn't work out, at least, like, for example, I know this is slightly, but I think it's still the topic, but it feels slightly adjacent. I love creating content across my 3 channels. Now, if that didn't work out, would I be okay with that? I'd probably be disappointed, but would I understand I tried my best? For currently over 3 years, maybe by the time I think, okay, let's pivot 5 years, 10 years, will I say, okay, I tried my best? And I think I'd say yes at this point. Earlier today, for example, I looked at some old videos of mine from when I started content creation, and the difference to now is actually insane. And it made me feel proud of my progress and my feeling of purpose because I felt like there had been marked progress across a 3-year period. So, purpose is not just about getting to a point, it's about striving, right? It's about continuously saying, I am here now. Where do I want to go next? And even if you don't get there, that you tried, that you thought about it, that you gave it your all, and that you have no regrets. That's the big one. Because we will all get to a moment in life, some sooner than others, some maybe nearing the end of their life, and obviously, the scary parts around that, but it brings with it clarity. And also, I believe, I don't know, obviously, at my age, but everyone gets to a point, I believe, where they know whether it was worthwhile what they did. And I think you can have that at numerous stages in your life. You can retrospectively look back and say that happened for a reason. Bad breakups or breakups in general, divorces, bereavements, being just flat out declined for one reason or another, for a job or a promotion or all these things, they happen maybe not for a reason. I think saying for a reason is sometimes disingenuous because a lot of stuff is random and a lot of stuff is unfair. But I do believe that even if you get dealt a bad hand, at some point you will get a good hand again, and that can happen because of that, which some people would say then that's meant to happen. I get that that's the same for some people, but for me, it feels saying that stuff is meant to happen is disingenuous to the point that sometimes life is random and chaotic and cruel, and we have to adapt to that rather than saying everything will turn out right. Because if you're not actively, purposely going through life intending to try and change things, and you might fail, that's not the point. If you don't try to change the things, if you aren't being purposeful about what you do, then you don't really deserve the change, to so to speak. I don't think anyone deserves badness or negativity in their life. I'm not saying that, but if you're not willing to grow, how can you expect growth to come to you? So I only read like one segment of this book and like turned it into a whole 10-minute rant. Let's see if we can find another excerpt to talk about quickly. I said excerpt there for a second. It's a good trigger word though. Excerpt. Let's see if we can find something. Oh, okay. Here's a quote. We'll try this one. Most of us go to our graves with our music still inside us, unplayed. That's Oliver Wendell Holmes. And that is kind of the point, right, of what I was just saying. The music being our talents, or our being who we were meant to be, who we really wished we had been. And yeah, it's sad. I wish more people would try, because I think even if they didn't succeed, they could say, I tried, I went there. Like, for example, and I think it's a really healing thinking. I think some people might have seen this, but on TikTok, for example, and say what you will about TikTok. Wow, I can't speak. There's some really good content on there for self-actualization, self-realization, and also just feel good content. And one that comes to mind when I read that is this elderly woman and her granddaughter. I can't speak again. Granddaughter. And the granddaughter, creates old designs of the grandmother that she didn't manage to make because she never went to fashion school. And so even though it's kind of the granddaughter instead of the grandmother, it feels kind of like that purpose, that feeling, that energy was not wasted. And it feels good. It feels good to see someone be inspired by someone else, be giving back to someone else in a way that like kind of is healing, right? because it's this person who had these dreams, and those dreams are now a reality in front of them, and also recognition from the wider um, community, so to speak, with TikTok. But at the same time, she can kind of come to terms with the fact that she didn't live that life, but that kind of came around and worked out in the end, right? It's all about not having regrets for me. And that's what I'm trying to do myself. And I hope you guys manage that on some level too. I think we'll actually leave it there for this one, guys. But as always, I hope you have a great night's sleep, relax, time zone, or whatever else you're doing. And I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.